Hey guys, it's Max Convexity here. Hope everyone had a good day. All right, I got the profit boxes drawn for tomorrow. I have a question on this first one. All right, so it's 658 contracts at the 2065 strike. I still have it where I copy and pasted. It's right here. I'm just showing it to you. 2065 strike. And then I had to get an average price between 329 contracts at 781 and 329 contracts at 780. Anyway, so it spits out up here. It spits out an average price, and I put it in right up here. Okay, well, first of all, that 770 is way less than yesterday where they got 20 bucks. That's one thing. But anyway, all right, so 770. So go over here to Russell. And when I go to put in those numbers, the option's not in the money at all. It looks like they sold an at the money option and didn't even get that much for it. So I'm thinking it's a typo or something. I'm thinking they really wrote the 2075, and it's a key punch here, and they really wrote the same one as this one, or maybe even the 2085 or something. But anyway, so for now, we're just going to leave that. We're just going to leave that how it is. It's not a huge deal. The other ones are typical. On this one, the triple Q guys, the QQQY, they sold 164 NDX, which is NASDAQ 100 puts at the 18,280 level for 96 bucks. Just yesterday, they got 150 bucks. I mean, volatility has shrunk just in this one day. In a huge way. This was incredible that we sold this option for 154 points and captured all of it. We didn't have to pay anything to earn it, to earn it. We made $1 million extrinsic just on that one deal. That was a huge day. All right, so anyway, for tomorrow though, they're going for $1.5 million. That's going to take these guys on the month to a positive 4 cents. And also, it's going to take their divvy estimate to 76 cents. Yeah. That's right, 76 cents. Okay? All right, so let's look at JEPY now. These guys sold 270 SPX put options at the 51.85 strike price for $17.26. Okay, so the difference is the break even. So the break even price for this is 51.67.74. Okay, so max profit is the strike, which is 51.85. Well, max profit would amount to $466,000. It's not near as much as the $700,000 they made yesterday. But it would darn sure work. It would take these guys to a positive 18 cents on the month. Right now, they're 12 cents a share positive. These guys are killing it. Dividends, 43 cents, a little on the low side, but I may have an old number in there. This is the next thing I need to figure out how to automate. Yeah, it fixed that. It fixed that low number. So 59 cents. They paid 60 last time. I mean, that's about what we'd expect. These guys captured they captured a huge amount of extrinsic, nearly $500,000 of extrinsic yesterday. They sold this option for 28, and then they could just sell the same option the day before for 18 and the same option today for 17. It's a huge one-day vol event that they cashed in on. That's really, really nice to see. So IWMY, we've already looked at that one because they have the jacked up profit box, because there's no way, that's got to be a typo. So anyway, we won't worry about that. Let's look at what we can worry about. All right, TLT is in the Valley of Death, which is what TRES trades. I don't know what to say about this one. Okay. What else do we look at? Okay, now I don't know if these guys might have updated these trades. These strikes are accurate as of this morning or last night. But anyway, I bet they're still all right. I bet that one's still good. We'll look at a little Tesla. Yeah, I bet those two strikes are still good. I bet they still have those. We'll look at a little NVIDIA. Oh, we're going right towards max profit. Look at that. It closed on the highs. Okay, this is a prime example. It closed on the highs and outside of the Bollinger Bands. That's that's a good signal. When it starts getting outside of the Bollinger Bands, it's either a fake out and it'll immediately come right back in and sometimes shoot to the other side. It's either that or it'll get outside and start running, and that may be what it does tomorrow. You can see other times it got outside and ran for a couple of days back here. There's times though when it gets outside like it does, like it did here, and it was outside for an hour, and then it slams back in and goes the other way. Huge bull trap. Suckered everyone in on the breakout, or a stop run, maybe whatever you want to call it, but in any event, let's check Misty. This one's on fire, closed on the highs. Well, it's on max profit on one of the strikes, one of the options, but they have more options up here. So I guess we can go up there by the end of the day Friday and be max profit on that one. That's incredible. Let's check out this buffer report. Misty and NVIDIA were the top performers of the day. Look at NVIDIA catching almost all the upside of the parent. Coney catching more upside than the parent. Same thing with Tesla, outperforming. OARC outperforming. AMZ outperforming. Aptly outperforming. AMD outperforming. This is just a day where a lot of these outperformed. TSLP even outperformed. MRNY outperformed. Oh darn, MSFO screws up the streak. They were in line. That's about what you'd expect. That's a nice amount of buffer there, which you would expect to underperform a little bit. Same thing with FBY. They're in line, but DISO outperformed. Infly did a good job, caught a lot of the upside. It was a great day for these funds. Sky outperformed. GUI was in line. YBTC was in line. XOMO. Goop outperformed. XOMO outperformed. Clip underperformed a little bit. MSFY did a great job, caught a bunch of the upside. All right, let's see what else we can look at. All right, so in the S&P, the best performing one on a comparative basis is iSpy. Of course, on a big up day, these are all going to underperform. These funds are designed, they aren't designed to grow. These aren't growth funds. So in big up days, they're going to lag way behind. But we can still tell on a relative basis which ones lag behind the least, and we can try to pick apart the different structural differences. For instance, XYLD's a fine fund, but they do it a little different way than say Bally does it. So usually on big down days, this one does better, but on big up days, Bally does better. But it has to do with the specifics of the way they structured their options and their hedges, or just the way they structured their portfolio, the way they do their strategy. It's just strategic differences. That's what I like to cover here at this channel. Let's look over here. Okay, we've already seen that. Okay, so look at the NASDAQ ones. Now, YMAG, again, outperformed. There was a YMAX yesterday that outperformed. Anyway, these guys are perennial outperformers. So I put the bond ones on this page now. So we have TLT. TLT got a lot of upside. THTA did fine. TRES. These all did fine compared to their benchmark, which is TLT. It's a good day in the bond business. SFOL. I'm comparing it on here too. It's similar to one of those type funds. Let's see what I'm comparing SFOL to. I'm comparing SFOL to the S&P because it's basically that the S&P's its benchmark, not really, but and then I'm comparing TRES to TLT because it is a bond fund. Okay. All right. Well, in the S&P complex, iSpy was definitely the standout. Bally looked good. The rest were bringing up the rear. We talked about this one, of course. YMAG looking strong, but they all performed like you would expect. It was a good day, and everyone made money today. Everyone should have. Let's look at stock index futures and see what they're doing. Well, stock index futures, 9:30 this morning got outside of the Bollinger Bands, and they stayed outside for 2 hours. But even when they slammed back in, it was just a retest of the breakout, and boom, they exploded back out again. Pretty bullish day, in other words. Who knows? Tomorrow they could bust out of the downside, and that could easily happen too. But they were busting out of the top side today, which is definitely bullish. All right, so that's Nasdaq, S&P. I mean, basically these are just grinding. Look at Russell after hours. Oh, well, they rolled their contract. They have a new contract. They aren't really up that far. I don't believe. The few days ago that happened to ES, and it looked like they were up, but they weren't really. All right, so it looks pretty flat overnight. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Bitcoin's up 1%. Look at this. Looks like 68 was an area that they butted up against there, and they busted through it, and then they came back to it twice, right there, and retested the breakout. And so far, it looks like it's held, so, next stop probably 76 or something. But anyway, if it's on for, not to mention, Bitcoin is closing time periods outside of the Bollinger Band, so unless it's rejected pretty quick, it's generally a pretty good sign to go with it. The last time they did this was 1 o'clock. I think that was in the middle of the night on Monday, but it started blowing up from there. This could be the next leg up, or not, or it could be a huge fake out. All right, guys, I'll be back in the morning. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great night.